everybody, it's me, Tess, with Tess Loves Yarn. And you guys, today I am here to share with you another Granny Square amigurumi project. Y'all know that I did my little chickens a couple of weeks ago. Well, today I have another project for you that only uses one Granny Square. You heard me right, one Granny Square. And I'm going to show you what that project is. It is this cute little bunny. Look at that. This is the bunny. And this bunny is made out of one Granny Square. Okay? Super cute, isn't it? You can make these to sell at markets, or you can make them for your grandchildren. You can make them for co-workers or friends. I mean, who wouldn't love a cute little bunny like this? Am I right? Yeah, y'all know what I mean, right? So, what you are going to need is some worsted weight yarn. I am using Lion Brand's worsted weight yarn in the basic stitch anti-pilling yarn, and the color I am using for this particular rabbit is going to be Silver Heather, which is a very rabbit color. Am I right? I'm right. Okay, so you want your yarn. You also want a crochet hook that is one size smaller than what your yarn label calls for. This particular yarn calls for a 5.5. I used a 4.5. Okay, very important. Please don't change this, okay? You are also going to need a darning needle, little darning needle right here. You are also going to need a pair of scissors, and you are going to need some pink yarn and some black yarn to embroider the face on your little bunny. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's quick and easy. You'll be amazed. Yeah. So that is all that you need. And what we are going to do is we are going to make one solid Granny Square. Now y'all, I did not do a tutorial on how to make a solid Granny Square because there are umpteen, I mean like, oh my gosh, so many of them on YouTube already. Now, if you really want me to film a video on my version of a solid Granny Square, I will be happy to do that for you. Just leave a comment below and let me know. Okay? So, my solid Granny Square looks like this. Right like this. And we are going to turn these into a bunny rabbit. And I am going to show you how. It is super easy. So make your solid Granny Square first and make it so that there are no holes. And like I said, if you need to know how to do this, please leave me a comment below and I will make that video and post it on Wednesday so that you can come back and look at this video after making a solid square. Okay? I don't mind doing it, but only if y'all really want it. Then I'll do it. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to flip the camera down and I'm going to show you how to turn one simple Granny Square into a super cute little bunny. Alright? Let's get to it, everybody. Hang on just a minute while I turn the camera down. I've got the camera turned down and we're going to get started. First, you need to cut a very long piece of yarn that matches your Granny Square. Now, if you're using a multiple colored Granny Square, that's okay. just cut a piece of long yarn that matches into that color scheme, okay? So no problem. Now you want to thread your darning needle, and we are going to do some very simple stitches across this granny square, okay? So how we're going to do this is we are going to make an imaginary triangle on our granny square. And it's very easy to do. Just fold your granny square in half so it leaves a little indentation. And right there, you're going to see where you're going to put your first line. That is the base of your triangle. Now, we're just going to go through the stitches very casually. You don't have to be precise with this. You're just going to make some long stitches through here, okay? You're going to leave some yarn hanging out of one end of that end right there, as you can see on the left, and then you're going to go straight across, and you're just going to go kind of in and out of your stitches. And it's very forgiving, so don't worry. It doesn't have to be, like I said, super precise. Just try to go in as straight of a line as you can, just right across the middle of your granny square. I usually like to come out the middle right here, as you can tell, and then I continue across with my needle. You guys, this is super simple, and like I said, it's very forgiving. You don't have to put those stitches in any particular stitch. Just get it across there, you know, straight across as you possibly can. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So once you get this all the way across on the horizontal like this is the base of your triangle that you're stitching onto your granny square or into your granny square. You're going to make the rest of the triangle now. So now we're going to come from the end where the yarn is. You're going to fold it in half vertically now and get that little center mark right there. There it is. And now what you're simply going to do, you're going to make some stitches from the side of your granny square up to that little indentation, okay? And once again, it does not have to be perfect. This is a very forgiving project, okay? Just try to get your stitches into the project as straight as possible without getting too anxious about it, okay? Because it's a simple and easy thing, all right? So we're going to put these stitches all the way up to the little indentation there. And once we get up to that indentation, we're going to come down on the other side. But I'll explain that in just a second. Let's get up to where that indent is from folding it in half. And if you need to, just fold it again to make sure you're getting the middle of that square. It's super easy. You don't have to mark it with a stitch marker, but you can if you want. I just keep folding it back and forth. It just takes a second, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go from the top and we're going to go all the way down to where we originally started, just like that, okay? And that is going to form our triangle, all right? So once again, just go down and picture in your mind the triangle that you are stitching onto your granny square. And you can fold that corner if you want to and get those indentations as well. So, you know, the yarn will indent a little when you fold it, and that could give you like a quick little guide. So you really don't need stitch markers unless you just want them. And if you do want to use stitch markers, that's perfectly fine. You go for it, okay? No problem there. And you're going to come on down through making that side of the triangle all the way to where we started. So that's where you're going to end back up, just like this. And we're going to have long pieces of our yarn hanging out, and that's what you want, because we're going to use those pieces of yarn to do a little stitching, and it's very easy stitching, so don't sweat that either. Okay, so we have our, and you see, you can't see the triangle, right? Can't see it at all. But what we're going to do, we're going to take one end of the yarn and pull it, and then we're going to take the other end of the yarn and pull that. And what we are doing is we are forming the head and the ears of our little bunny. So take your finger in and push it out, just like that, because this is what's forming your head and ears and body, okay? And look at that. See how easy that is, everybody? There's your head, and here's your ears right there, and then here's your body, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is we're going to continue to, I'm gonna pull this tight again just because I loosened it up to show you what it was, okay? You're going to need some polyfill stuffing, and I may have forgotten to tell you that you needed stuffing, but you definitely want some stuffing. You don't need a lot. This project does not take very much polyfill, just a little bit. So you want to stuff the head, but you don't want to overstuff it, because you really don't want that polyfill showing through your stitches too much, okay? If they show through a little bit, that's no big deal, right? But you just don't want it to be like falling out of the stitches, you know? So I'm pretty happy with that little amount right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pull on those strings again and really tighten that up, just like that. And once you have that tightened up, you're going to make sure that your stuffing is all in there really well, and you're going to pull again, and then you're going to just tie a little knot in your two strings. Now you can take your hands just like I did, and you can shape that head, which is exactly what I did, okay? Like I said, this project is very forgiving, y'all, very forgiving. Now, make sure that your yarn is tight. You want to make sure that you've pulled that yarn tight, but don't pull it so tight that you break the yarn, because you know yarn will break if you pull it too tight, right? So pull it tight enough that it cinches up really well, but don't pull it so tight that you're going to take the chance of breaking the yarn, okay? And then we're just going to tie a simple knot. That's it, just like that. And there we go. We have ears, we have a head, and we have the body. All right. Now what we're going to do, I like to do my ears a little bit differently than the other people here on YouTube that have done this project in the past. I like to sew my ears closed because I think they look more like a bunny rabbit ear when they're sewn shut. So that's what I like to do right there. So what we're going to do, if you have yarn that is all one color, like my gray yarn, you can use any stitch you want. It doesn't matter because you're not going to see those stitches, okay? Now, if you have a multicolored granny square that you're using, just pick a nice coordinating yarn, and you might want to do a mattress stitch because that's an invisible stitch. It's totally up to you. It doesn't matter, because if you pick a coordinating color of yarn, it'll look cute anyway, even if the yarn shows, right? Because it coordinates. So we're gonna just go back and forth. This is what I'm doing. I'm just going back and forth through the stitches. I have the same color yarn, so it really doesn't matter what stitch I use. I usually prefer the mattress stitch. It's just because that's what I'm used to doing, because it's my favorite way to sew things up. Yeah, because it's an invisible stitch anyway. But so I use the mattress stitch. I'm just sewing it up, and we're going to go all the way up to the top of the ear, and then we're going to, once we're all finished like this, we're going to go back down through the ear just like this, and we're going to come out in the middle there. And you're going to be real careful not to pull too tight on that yarn, because you don't want to bend the tip of your ear down unless you want it to be bent down. Like, you know, like some little bunnies have one ear bent down. You can totally do that. You'll just have to make sure you shape it in the right direction, okay? So now we're going to simply cross over with the same exact yarn end, and we're going to sew up the other side. Now be careful not to catch your ear, just like I did right there. Okay, so continue to sew the second ear up, and once again I am just using the stitch because I enjoy it. And oops, there, I lost my thread off of my darning needle, which that happens, you guys. Just thread it back up if it happens, and just keep going. Now, when I'm sewing these ears together, I hold the two sides of the fabric together, and I just go under the inner loops, just like this. There's one inner loop, and there is the other inner loop. I do not go through both loops on each side. I only go through the two inside loops, one on each side, okay? So I just want to clarify that in case you're more of a new person with crochet. I want you to understand I'm not going through both loops on each side. I'm only going through one inner loop on each side, and it is the two loops that touch each other when you fold that fabric together. All right, so we're finished with the ears. We're going to go in through that corner, and we're going to come back out down around the neck again. Yeah, just down here somewhere. There we go. And you're going to let go of that yarn now. And we're going to take, and look at that. There you have your ears. I love those ears. Super cute. Excuse me, y'all. My goodness. I'm drinking a soda. All right. Super, super cute. And now we're going to take the other long end, which really needs to be a long end, because we're not only sewing the back of our bunny, we're also going to sew the bottom closed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go about in the same manner, and we're going to thread this needle right through both sides of our back, way up by the neck, and then we're going to tie a little knot. And that's just to secure the knot that makes up the ears, because we don't want that coming undone, right? So tie a nice little knot, and then you can just not even worry about it. We're going to hide the ends on the inside of our bunny rabbit, so nobody's going to see those ends to begin with, so you don't have to really worry about them. All right, so once you've got your knot tied, we're going to go back to sewing up the back side. Now we're not going to do the bottom yet because we have to put some polyfill stuffing in there, so we're just sewing that back all the way down the back line, okay? And once again, I'm just using the two inner loops, one on each side, and it's the loops that touch each other when you fold that fabric together. All right, so continue to sew all the way down the back of your bunny, just like I'm doing. You guys, this is such a cute project. I really enjoy making these granny square amigurumi projects. If you have not seen my chicken video, it is oh gosh, it's down there, a few videos down. Go ahead and click on it and watch that one. Yeah, that's a fun one to do as well. And those chickens are super cute. I mean, super cute. Just like these bunnies, right? And anyway, there I lose my yarn again, you guys. Sometimes the hands just don't work. But here we go. We are really almost done sewing this up. So once you get the back of your bunny all the way sewn, we are going to add some polyfill. So make sure you have some polyfill. And I did forget to mention that I used a little pre-made pom-pom for the tail. So if you want to use a pre-made pom-pom, you can purchase a little bag at the dollar store. You can purchase a little bag at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, any craft store. And for all of you people in the UK, I think you have Craft Smart. I think that's the store that I went into with my Susie, my sweet friend Susie, when I was in the up in Scotland back in May. Anyway, you can purchase those little pom-poms anywhere. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some stuffing in. This is for our body. And once again, you want to stuff it nicely, but don't like overstuff it, okay? I know that sounds a little wishy-washy there, like, oh, how much is enough? You'll be able to tell. If you can see a lot of the stuffing, you have overstuffed it, okay? If it doesn't shape out and fill out, then you have understuffed it. So that's how you tell. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew the bottom up. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go in and out of all the stitches on the bottom. So I'm going in one right there, and then I'm coming on the inside and going back out, in and out, in and out, just like this. And it's very simple to do, y'all. In one side, out the other, in one side, out the other, okay? And what this is going to enable us to do is to pull it just like that and cinch that bottom in so that our little bunny rabbit will stand up. And this is what gives our bunny its nice flat bottom and helps it stand. So you can put it on a shelf or hold it in your hand or whatever you want to do, and it will stand up, okay? So I grab every single stitch because I'm just like that. I like to grab every stitch. That way I know the bottom is cinched up very nicely and it's going to be completely closed. So the thing to remember is you're going to go in one end and out the other. So look how I did that. Yeah, there you go. So now you see you have a nice flat bottom there. Yeah, that's awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a few stitches across that opening just to kind of secure it. I usually do about 3 across the opening, and that is perfectly enough. You don't have to overdo it. 3 will be just fine, okay? So there's my third one going in right here, and I'm done with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stick that yarn back up through the body and bring it out at the neck where our other yarn is still hanging right there. And then guess what we're going to do? That's right, we're going to tie another knot to secure our yarn, okay? And don't worry, nobody's going to see that knot because we're going to push it back down through the body of the bunny rabbit, okay? So grab your 2 ends of your yarn. I just did a little shaping right there. You can do the shaping at the end if you want. I'm just always kind of shaping as I go, but it doesn't really matter. You can do it all at the end. So there we go. I've got my knot tied. Now I'm going to clip those ends a little bit closer, and then I'm going to take my darning needle and I'm going to use the big flat eye part, and I'm just going to shove that knot back down into the bunny rabbit using the eye part of the needle. Don't try to go using the other end because that's going to be hard to shove it down. You need that eye part because it is a thicker area of the needle, right? So there you go. So now we have our bunny. You see it stands up all by itself. Super cute. And I mean super cute. And what we're going to do now, now that we are finished with sewing it and stuffing it together, we are simply going to either make a little bunny tail by winding up some matching yarn, just like this. You can wind it up, you can cut the ends and make your own little pom-pom. Just tie the yarn in the middle of that yarn and then clip the ends. And then you can either sew it onto your bunny or you can glue it. I happen to like the pom-poms, and here are the pom-poms. Now you guys, I do recommend that you wait until you're done sewing your face on your bunny. I jumped the gun, y'all. I got so excited about putting the tail on that I did it before I embroidered the face on. I do recommend you do this step last. But here's my little pom-pom. I may have gotten these at the dollar store. I'm almost certain now that I did, but I'm not sure. But I use fabric glue, and I use the Gorilla brand fabric glue. It's awesome. Now, you do need to let it set and dry for probably a good 15 minutes before you handle your project again, which I did not do in this video. As you can tell, I stuck on that little tail, and then boom-o bang-o, I'm going to jump right into doing the embroidery. So you want to go down the back line where you sewed the back fabric together, and you want to put your tail at the bottom there, just like a little cottontail on a regular bunny. So I'm just pressing it down here. But as you can see, it is going to pop off when I am kind of manhandling the bunny to get the face sewn on. So that's why I recommend you do it last. Don't do it when I did it. Do it last. But now we're going to get out our black yarn and our pink yarn so that we can sew the face on. So first we're going to do the eyes. I'm going to do some black yarn, and you guys do not be intimidated by this. It is super easy to embroider a face on your amigurumi or your crochet project. Now, if you need more help on how to do faces, I do have another video down below. I will try to link these two other videos, my chicken video and my how to sew eyes on amigurumi. That video goes way more in depth than this little video. This is just a simple button eye that I'm sewing, embroidering on, whereas my other video goes into detail on how to do special effects with your eyes, okay? So I'm threading up my black yarn, and what we're going to do is you're gonna pick where you want your eyes. Now you can mark them with a pen or any way you want. I eyeball it, forgive the pun. You go in through the side. Don't go in through your face up front. Go in through the side, leave enough tail that you can tie a knot, and then you're going to go up at least one stitch, and you're going to come back out where your yarn tail is. and you are simply going to go back and forth a few times. So I generally go 3 to 8 different times depending on how big my amigurumi project is. This is a small one. I will not go 8 times on this one. I will probably go 3 to 5 times at the most. So you're going to go in one stitch and out the same stitch. You are putting these stitches in the same 2 stitches, everybody. And then you're simply going to manipulate that yarn to one side of the eye or the other. Okay? Very, very simple. You see how that works? And then I'm going to put the yarn now. I'm going to manipulate that yarn to the other side. And you can see me do that right here. Okay? So very easy. This eye is going to be completed now. And I'm going to go in right up at the top, and I'm going to come out where my next eye is going to be, which is going to be pretty much right across from that. I'm going out to where the bottom of the eye is, and then I'm going to insert my darning needle up a stitch to where I want my eye to end. So it's beginning at the bottom here, and then it's going to end right where I'm readjusting that, you guys. I want it to put that in a different spot. And like I said, this project is very forgiving. And see how easily I just readjusted for that eye? Super, super easy. Once again, you go in and out that same exact stitch. Don't accidentally sew your eye into your ear like I just tried to do. Just be mindful of the end of your yarn right there. And you're going to manipulate that yarn on either side of the eye. So, you know, sew it and put one on one side, then come down the other side and make sure that yarn is coming around the eye on the other side. So just like that. See how I just manipulated that to be on the other side now? So very easy to do. Now when you're finished with your eye, you're happy with it, you're going to come out where your yarn tail is on the side of your face, okay? And we are going to tie a simple knot. Now those are simple button eyes, very simple, easy to do. Okay, now if you want it to get more elaborate, you could add eyelashes or anything like that. I show you how to do that on my How to Embroidery Eyes on Crochet Plushies in that video that I will link in the description below, okay? So we are simply going to tie this knot. Just like this. Make sure you leave enough yarn so you can tie your knot. And I tie it usually 2 or 3 times. And then all we're going to do is what we did with the gray yarn. After the knot is tied, we're going to take our darning needle using the flat eye end, and we are going to push it down. Now see, my bunny tail fell off. My little pom-pom fell off because I was really moving that rabbit around, and that Gorilla Glue did not have enough time to really dry yet. So that's why I recommend you put that tail on at the end, not in the beginning. I just got a little overzealous with it because I love those little pom-pom tails. They're just so cute. Now see, take that darning needle, use that flat end, and just shove that yarn in there, okay? You're just going to push the yarn in. Don't worry, nobody's going to see it. You're going to put it right in the body. If you left your yarn tails too long, you can cut them shorter and, you know, push it right in through the body, just like I did, okay? And there you have it. That yarn is now hidden, and your eyes are nice little button eyes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the pink yarn And we're going to make our little bunny nose and our little bunny kind of mouth. You know, it's a nose slash mouth that kind of goes together. So here's my pink yarn. You guys can use any pink worsted weight yarn. Just make sure you're using worsted weight yarn because you don't want to use thicker yarn than what your bunny rabbit is made of. Now you could go to a lighter weight yarn, but don't use a thicker yarn. So either use a DK or a worsted weight. I just use my worsted weight yarn. I just really like worsted weight yarn. It's my go-to yarn. So use whatever you have on hand. So you're going to go straight across down from the eyes. You're going to go in down below like I did, because you never want to go in right where your project or your item is going to start. Go in at a different place and come up where you want to start your nose. And we're going to go in and out of the same exact stitch again, manipulating that yarn to one side or the other. Okay, just like I'm doing right here. Now I like to do for a nose, I like to do usually about 3 times. Now I'm going to go into the middle and I'm going to come straight down and I'm going to go back up, and that's going to form like that little line that comes down from their nose. That's kind of a mouth. Yeah, you know, it's like the nose slash mouth. So then once I have that there, I'm coming back out where my yarn tail is, and I am going to do what? We're going to tie another knot, and we're going to shove that yarn back into the body of our bunny. And there we have the little nose and mouth. Super cute and super easy. So tie your knot. Once again, I like to tie it 2 or 3 times. And then you're going to use your flat end of your darning needle, and you're just going to push that yarn back into the body of your bunny so that nobody can see it. Super easy, everybody. Super easy. And there you see, boomo bango, that yarn is gone. And now we're going to repair that cottontail. I'm putting some more Gorilla Glue because I've already rubbed it all off in all of the manhandling of the bunny to get the face sewn on. So there we go. I'm just gluing that back on. And you guys, when that Gorilla Glue dries, that tail is not going anywhere, okay? That stuff is like cement. I kid you not. I use it to glue my felt eyes on and my felt noses. It's amazing stuff. I highly recommend it, all right? Now your bunny is complete. All you need to do is maybe a little shaping. So check out your bunny. Make sure you're happy with the shape of everything. I am pretty darn happy with my little bunny here, but if you need to do some subtle shaping or some not so subtle shaping, this is the time to do it. Like I said, this project is very forgiving. And there's your bunny, everybody. You have completed your bunny. Awesome! You guys, I'm so excited for you to try this bunny at home, okay? So leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this little bunny. Stick with me. I have a little announcement at the end of the video. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on how to make these cute little bunnies out of one granny square. Look at that. Cute as can be. Super, super cute. Very quick and easy to make. If I weren't making a tutorial, I could make one of these in 15 minutes flat. That's how fast they are. Yeah, 15 minutes. Especially if you want to glue on your felt eyes. If you had some small felt eyes, that would be even faster. But yeah, there you have it. Nice, cute little bunnies. And they are adorable. Hi, bunnies. Yeah. So you guys, if you are new here and you like my videos and you like me, I'd be tickled pink if you'd hit that subscribe button and join my little YouTube family here. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your loyalty. Thank you for coming back and watching my videos time after time. I appreciate you so much. And oh my gosh, yeah, I'm very grateful for you. So thank you guys. And also just a reminder, if we are not friends over on Instagram, I do have an Instagram now. I also have private channel memberships now. This is brand new that I'm very excited about. So if you're interested in that, you can click on the button and it'll give you all the info that you need. Okay? With that said, that's the end of the video today. I will be posting again on Wednesday. If you need that tutorial on how to do a solid granny square, please drop a comment below. I will get that filmed and get that posted for Wednesday, okay? What comes next? Y'all know. Be kind and be safe out there in the world, no matter where you are. I'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.